We won't penalize you if you're a bit late to the show. So slide into that favorite easy chair, but make sure you've taken out the trash first. We hope this one scores big points with you, so make sure everything is adjusted as high fives are all around. Run to that favorite place. It's a goal! Sports Night is next.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Sports Night. I'm Joe Young.
I'm Howie Shapiro. Another week in the books, Joe.
Yeah, and it's tournament time for fall sports. You know, tennis already into their tournament. Soccer tournaments starting this week. Only a couple of weeks left of the football season. Volleyball team, I think, has this week plus one game next week, and they'll be ready for tournaments. Cross country and swimming both have their conference tournaments this week, so just about everybody.
A lot of action. It's amazing how fast time goes. I mean, you know, I thought we just started week one of the fall season, and we're getting towards the end.
I know. Well, we'll get right to it because a lot of stuff to cover. 1 week after scoring the first victory of the season, Cardinal football team had a great opportunity to start a win streak. They traveled to Centennial to face a Cougars team that was 3-2, but clearly a team the Cardinals could compete with and possibly steal a victory from in front of the Cougars' homecoming crowd. Unfortunately, Cardinals' old problems returned, and they were once again battling themselves as well as the team on the other sideline. Cardinals start with the ball. Second play of the game, Brandon Martin on play action, looking for Little over the middle, but Alex Cloby has the coverage underneath and gets the interception. That would lead to a missed field goal. Next possession, Cards go 3 and out, but on the punt, high snap over Martin's head. He's able to scoop it up and runs left looking for room, but he's forced out of bounds at the 16-yard line. This time, the Cougars cash in on the great field position. Tyler Iaquinto running left, great hole, takes it to the house. Centennial takes the early 7-0 lead. Second play of the Cardinals' next drive, Onda looking left for Tykes, but Danny Anderson is right there for the takeaway. He's going to sprint 30 yards for the score, a pick six. And the Cougars lead 14-0 just 4 minutes into the game. Ball was barely on the Centennial side of the field for the first half. Cardinals finally get into the red zone. Last play of the third quarter. Onda rolling to his left, throws into double coverage, and is picked off in the end zone. Centennial's third interception. Cougars' next play starts the fourth quarter from the 20. Handoff goes to Iaquinto. It's a good hole, runs over Brandon Cooper, and off to the races. 80-yard score, part of a 222-yard rushing effort for Iaquinto on the night. Centennial added a field goal as they go on to the 24-0 win.
You know, a lot of
five turnovers.
Five turnovers. A lot of enthusiasm coming into this game after their first win. Again, you know, it's unfortunate. It's, you know.
Oh, and the penalties were there.
Right,
quite a bit.
The penalties were there, but you know, no turnovers the week before, 5 the next week, and this is something that's been haunting them all season long. They have not been able to hold on to the football, and when you can't hold on to the football and you turn the ball over 5 times, you're not going to win a game.
That means 16 turnovers to 8 takeaways, which isn't good.
No,
but
it's a +8.
If it's a -8.
-8, right? I'm sorry.
If you take away the Park Center game, it's 16 turnovers and only 3 takeaways in 5 contests.
Ouch.
That is tough to deal with.
Absolutely.
Nearly impossible to win a football game when you are -4 in the turnover battle. Cardinals will hope to straighten it out. Just 2 weeks left, and one of them is going to be a short week. They host Champlain Park, final home game of the season this Friday. Then they're at Andover to finish the season next Wednesday after, again, that short week of practice before the MEA.
And again, the remaining 2 contests are, you know, if they don't turn the ball over and they play the kind of football that I know they can play, they have opportunities, but you just can't give the football up.
No. Well, the tennis team finished up the regular season last Tuesday, taking on the Blaine Bengals, and they finished with an impressive 18-5 record, 10-3 in the conference. They beat the Bengals 5-2. Almost everyone winning in straight sets. Well, everyone that got to win did win in straight sets. Hanula at second singles goes 6-3, 6-1. Nagley at third goes 6-0, 6-1. 6-1, 6-1 is the score for Maddie Georgie at fourth singles. Ream and Mortensen win at second doubles. Ryan and McDonald team up to get the victory at third doubles. The playoffs were supposed to start, I believe, on Wednesday, but weather delays pushed them back. They were also supposed to start at the Bob Pivot Courts, but pushed it back to Thursday, pushed it back to Friday. Friday, they finally went indoors. They went over to the Baseline Center to play this one, and they actually get the 6-1 win over Fridley, the number 15 seed, and everybody winning relatively easy. Fridley only winning at first singles. But there you see 6-love for both Hanula and Nagley at second and third singles, and 6-2-6-love for Maddie Georgie. Westra and Ream team up at first doubles. Nelson and McManus win at second, 6-1-6-1, and another 6-love win for Mortensen and McDonald at third doubles.
Well, the win over Fridley put the Cardinals in the quarterfinals this very afternoon, hosting St. Michael Albertville, which scored an upset over Maple Grove. The Crimson had beaten Coon Rapids during the regular season, and this would have been an opportunity to extract some sort of revenge in the sections. Instead, the Cardinals looked to the courts facing an unfamiliar opponent, playing for a chance to advance to Wednesday's semifinal round. It was a nice day for tennis at Bob Pivot Courts. Allie Bauer filling the top spot at singles for the Cardinals and playing strong from the baseline. Her opponent hits into the net for this point, but Bauer would lose 7-5, 1-6, 1-6. Not to worry, the rest of the lineup would pick up the slack. Heidi Hanula making quick work of her opponent, 6-0, 6-0, for the second straight match of sections. We're going to move to the third singles, a high lob volley going back and forth with Hannah Nagley until she sees her opportunity to fire at her opponent's feet. The return is into the net. Nagley gives up just one game. She's going to win by a score of 6-1, 6-0. As you saw that shot into the net. Maddie Georgie serving at fourth singles in the far court. She does a great job of getting her opponent on the run, and if she wins this point, Georgie wins a tight one, 6-2, 4-6, 6-0. Carly Westra now serving at first doubles, and she takes care of this point all on her own. Westra and Andrea Ream win 6-4, 6-1. Nice job there. That'd be enough for the Cardinals to advance. The rest is what they call gravy. Helen Nelson and Tina McManus team up at second doubles. They sweeten the victory with a three-set win, 6-2, 4-6, 6-0. Then Mortensen and McDonald add one more for good measure. They win at third doubles, 6-1, 6-4, and the Cards do advance with a 6-1 win. As you mentioned, they will play on Wednesday.
Yes, they will, and they will get the winner of Blaine and Rogers. Blaine, the higher seed. I believe they're a 6 seed to Rogers 10, if I'm not mistaken.
No, I think a Blaine is a 3 seed.
Blaine is a 3 seed to their 6. Blaine is a 3 to their 6.
Yep.
You're right. St. Michael is the 10 seed. There are the brackets. And so we obviously don't know the outcome of that match, which also happened this afternoon, but should Blaine advance. Remember, as final regular season contest, Cardinals won relatively easy, beating them 5-2. Hopefully they can duplicate that effort, get to the finals, and then most likely they're going to face a monster called Moundsview.
Yeah, Moundsview should go through that side of the bracket and end up in the final game and the final match. And Cardinals, playing well, obviously, and so they will get that opportunity, but they're going to have their work cut out for them if that's the case.
Well, we talked about it, and even Coach Storick put on his website a little something I'll paraphrase. That it was a young team, and with all the losses, didn't really know what they would be able to accomplish this year, and they have obviously overachieved his expectations, getting those 18 wins in the regular season. We talked about it last year. They overachieved. They got part of the conference crown, had 21 wins in the regular season. Well, now they have 20 wins with the two in section play. So if they can get one more on Wednesday, that's 21 wins. That's pretty impressive for back-to-back seasons.
Very impressive.
Moving right along, volleyball team opened last week's play hosting Andover, a team coming in hot and looking to close the regular season strong. Huskies were coming off a 3-1 showing at a tournament over the weekend, trying to keep their rebound going after a bit of a skid in mid-September. They were 4-4 in the Northwest Suburban, looking to keep their conference record above the 500 mark. Cardinals trailing in the first set, but trying to keep within striking distance. Andover setting up the attack on their left side. Allison Yag with a great dig. Megan Wellner is going to just tip this one over the block attempt to the floor for the point. The Cards' rally falls short, and the Huskies will prevail in the opening set. Huskies set up Taylor Finnis for the kill, Andover takes the lead in the match with a 25-17 win in the first. Move to the second. Cardinals attack quickly turned around by the Huskies. This time it's Allison Weiss pounding it to the floor. Andover starting to pull away early. Coon Rapids trying to avoid falling further behind, but a great receive on the serve and a quick set to Heather Keys in the middle. She gets kill. Andover takes 2-0 lead with a 25-14 win. Good volley going in the third set. Cardinals able to pick up the weak attack by Andover and set it up for their big gun. Jessica Haig will get one of her team-high 10 kills in the match. Coon Rapids able to make the third set the closest of the night, but it just isn't enough to avoid the sweep. Another perfect return of serve. Set goes to Haley Tillett. She leaves no doubt on the attack. Andover ends it in 3 with a 25-19 win in that third set.
Yeah, we've talked about this is a young team in the volleyball squad, and they're learning on the fly as they go, and they're developing, the systems. But it's been a tough year for them. Just 3 wins so far on the year.
Well, and they took on Anoka on Thursday, and were treated to another straight set match, losing to the Tornadoes 25-14, 25-13, 25-22. Jessica Haig 8 kills to lead the team in that department. Carly Britton led the team with 11 digs. Tina Yost had 6 assists. Allison Yang added 7 digs. Gonzala led the team in aces with 3. Over the weekend, Cardinals traveled to Bram for a tournament. They lost to Albany 25-20, 25-13, but then beat Barnum 25-20, 25-11 before losing to the host team from Bram 25-16, 25-16. Cardinals a busy week this week. They are hosting Totino Grace right now as we speak.
Yes.
Live on Monday night. They will host Spring Lake Park tomorrow. And Howie?
We'll be there.
And then they will be at Centennial on Thursday. And my memory fails me. I think they have one contest next week. I can't remember who it's against.
I didn't look, so I can't help you out on that. Well, the swimming and diving team will compete in the conference championships this week after back-to-back dual meets with Northwest Suburban opponents last week. It started on Tuesday with the annual battle for supremacy of the Northdale Middle School pool. Coon Rapids and Blaine both call this home, and the crosstown rivals always look forward to trying to maintain bragging rights around the deck. It didn't take long for the Bengals to establish this meet was all theirs. Already a 36-point lead when they reached the diving competition. Gladriel O'Grady has been outstanding all season, and while she scores an impressive 212.85, it's only good enough for third against Blaine. Cardinals finally score a first-place finish in the 6th event of the night. Lindsay Easy with an outstanding finish in the 100 butterfly. This one goes
a good one,
right to the wall, right to the wall with Easy out-touching the girl next to her. She is just 0.04 of a second ahead of second place. Winning seems to be contagious. The Cardinals get a 1-2 finish in the next event, 100 free, and they make it 3 straight blue ribbons with Ariana Georgie's win in the 500 free. She wins easily, but the Bengals still with a comfortable lead, up 79-47 with 4 events remaining. Well, Aaliyah Perkins nearly gets the Cardinals another first-place finish in the 100 backstroke. She's going to come up just short. Her time of 107.89 is about 3/4 of a second back. That's a tough one there. Well, the Cardinals swim well, but come up short against the Bengals, losing by a final score of 100-81. And that was an event that you and I both couldn't be at, but Jeremy Smith, I heard, did a great job in our stead.
Yeah, I got to watch my back. My job may be in jeopardy if there was once a time when if we weren't available, they rescheduled, found us another meet. Now it's like,
they don't care. They just brush us to the side and find somebody to replace us.
We bring in the better team.
I don't think you have to worry.
They brought in the better guy. That's all right. That's all right. More importantly, I would have liked to have been there for the swim team, because we do only do the one event per year, and it would have been nice to be there for the team. But hindsight is 2020. Would have been nice if maybe we had taken the show on the road and gone to Park Center on Thursday. Why? Because the Cardinals win. They get their first victory of the season, beating the Pirates 104-79. Cardinals take first place in almost every event of the evening.
Nice.
There's just a couple of them, a smattering, if you will. Sarah Dishinger won the 200 free. Ariana Georgie won the 200 IM. Lindsay Geezy the 50 free. Aaliyah Perkins the 100 fly. And meant to look at the name again. I think it's Tamala King that won the 500 free. I know it was a name I'd never seen, and I wanted to put it on Sportsnight. I'm pretty sure it's Tamala, but if I'm wrong or I'm mispronouncing it, I do apologize.
We've done that a few times in the past, and usually we're corrected. Sometimes we go through almost the entire year before somebody finally tells us.
3 or 4, an entire high school
Nonetheless,
career.
Nice to get their first win.
Absolutely. Yeah, and it couldn't have come at a better time. Good to schedule those weaker opponents right at the end of the regular season, because that might give them a little bit more confidence going into the Northwest Suburban Conference Championships, which happen on Tuesday the 21st. They do have a little bit of time off. They do. In order to try and trim a little bit more time off of their swims. But, and then they've got a couple weeks after that before the Section 7 AA championships. Those don't happen until the 6th through the 8th of November. So we will have probably already wrapped up the fall season of Sportsnight before that happens, and then we'll update what happened in those when we preview the winter season, because that's the way it happens.
I don't want to think about winter at this point, though.
It's right around the corner.
It is around the corner.
I am thinking winter, because hockey practice starts this week, and instead of being at practice 1 for my team, I will be at volleyball on Tuesday, and instead of being at practice 2 for my team, I will be at soccer on Thursday, and instead of being at practice number 3 for my team, I will be at football on Friday.
You're a team player. All right. You're a team player, Joe Yend.
That's all right. I'm not the head guy this year, and that's just fine with me, so I'll be able to fill in here at CTN.
Yes, you will.
And it will keep me from stressing out a little bit about having father to goalie, apparently.
It'll be in the back of your mind, though.
Oh, nonstop. But more importantly, again, back to the enough. We don't need to talk about hockey quite yet. Swimming and diving team, a little bit of time off, and I think when they get to that, you've got a handful of girls. You got those 3 or 4 girls that have been leaders for this team all year long, and they will definitely be pushing for spots and could earn their way to state tournament appearances.
Absolutely.
Well, cross-country teams will compete in their Northwest Suburban Championships this week after one final tune-up in Blaine. The Blaine Invitational at Majestic Oaks has become quite an event for elite teams late in the regular season. Over 20 teams competed in the girls' varsity races this year, and there were 28 boys' teams represented. The races are broken up into 2 divisions, blue and white. Cardinals boys were placed in the 15-team blue division, considered the weaker of the 2 groups. It was wet and sloppy on the course, but the Cardinals would show they probably should have been running with the better teams. Freshman Paul Breitbach was the top finisher for Coon Rapids, taking 3rd place overall in just under 17.5 minutes. Nate Bugenberg wasn't far behind, crossed the finish line in 8th. Senior captain Kyle Merhoff finishes strong, taking 10th place. Cardinals' next 4 finishers are all sophomores. Tanner Ross crosses in 11th at 18.6. Joe Coughlin in 15th. Matt Dunn and Josiah Taylor were the other competitors. Cardinals are 1st in the white division and 8th overall in the Invitational. Girls were placed in the tougher blue division, and it was clear that is where they belong. Cardinals would have had 3 top 10 finishers in the white division, but instead found themselves battling for position with some of the top runners and teams in the state as they navigated the crowded field and the sloppy course. Elise Weimholt was the Cardinals' top finisher at 21st place. Brenna Del Castillo was a little less than 10 seconds back in 28th. Rachel Davis and Susan Porter stuck together for the whole race, finishing 59th and 62nd places, respectively. Another group of Cardinals is just 7 seconds back. Michelle Oniakaba, Hannah Davis, and Lindsey Johnson finished 68th, 69th, and 70th. Cardinals finished 9th place in the 14-team division.
Yeah, great competition.
And I evidently wrote way too much for the highlights.
You?
A little bit.
Great competition, obviously.
Yes.
And they showed, as you mentioned, they showed why they belong in that division, and they have a solid team. They run in packs, and a nice finish.
Well, and it's nice to see the boys running in groups a little bit stronger as well. The top guys are obviously out on their own a little bit, but if that 3, 4, and 5 finishers, if they can cut a little bit off of their times, that can mean a significant difference in where the team finishes. Northwest Suburban Conference Championships are being held in Elk River on Thursday, and that will be a big event. I think the girls will have a legitimate shot to compete for a conference championship. Boys just hoping to finish in the top half, maybe push for a third or fourth spot would be quite a big success for them. Girls will have one final tune-up between that and the sections. They'll be at the Dundee Invitational in Brooklyn Park next Tuesday. The section tournament is on Thursday, the 23rd.
We talked about the soccer team starting their sections. We'll talk about the boys before they head to their section play. Soccer teams will open postseason, as we talked about, play this Thursday in Section 7 AA quarterfinals. For the boys, it means an 8th seed and a trip to top seeded Andover, hoping to slide on the glass slipper and surprise some squads in the playoffs. The Cardinals finished the regular season with a pair of games last week, starting with a matchup on Tuesday against another struggling squad in the Champlain Park Rebels. Cardinals come out flying in their final regular season game. Good pressure early. Evan Gibson deep in the corner crosses out front for the redirected by Gail Ntwabwe. And you correct me. Ntwabwe. The keeper is able to make a diving stop to keep the game scoreless. Coon Rapids with a free quick kick from a dangerous spot. Caleb Teagarden sends it to the front in front of the net. Dennis Parker is able to deflect it into the net.
Pasker scores.
Huge goal. Huge goal. Rebels looking for the answer. Mike Bia tries to cut back and gets tangled up the Cardinals defender Ryan Haida. That sets up the PK. Bia is going to take it. He hammers it off the crossbar. The ball appears to come back out, and Champlain's thinking it's a corner kick. But the refs talk it over and decide it landed in the goal and spun back out. As you can imagine, that decision does not go over well with Coach Paco. Cardinals not discouraged. They get that one back before the half. Aaron Bauer with that high lofted pass to the back post. Tony Cruckton gets there on a perfect one-touch shot to the top shelf. Another good opportunity for Coon Rapids off a free kick early in the second. Teagarden goes directly to the net, crosses out in front, puts it. Bauer's shot is going to be deflected up and over the net, and it's out of play. That sets up the corner kick. Teagarden goes short, deflected out to Bauer, who tries to kick up over his head, and this one is going to be relatively easy, save for the keeper. Still 2-1 Coon Rapids. Cardinals free kick. Their side of the midfield, Ryan Nelson gets a great boot on it. It's going to bounce once. No one can get to it. It's off the defender's head and into the net. Cruckton getting the congratulations, but the goal belonged to Nelson and puts the Cardinals on top 3-1. Home team grabbing the momentum. Nelson drive passes to Ntwabwe. Nice little give and go with Pasker, and Ntwabwe puts it to the far post to put this game away. Cardinals score a big 4-1 win over the Rebels.
Apparently, I wrote a little too much there, too. Well, we got a little tied up with Gail and Tom.
Yeah, I know. I practiced it all before the show, and of course, I blew it. Sorry.
It's all right.
No, I'm not apologizing to you. I'm apologizing to them.
Right. And it kind of reminded me as I was watching the highlights, how things sometimes for teams when they start to go wrong, everything goes wrong. I mean, the boot by Nelson, he's 60, 70 yards away. Yeah. It bounces once. The defender's just running under it. Goes right off his head, right past the keeper into the net. Own goals, well, they hurt.
That's never
good. But when they're for the other team, it doesn't hurt quite as bad.
And Ntwabwe.
When.
Ntwabwe.
I could be completely wrong.
Well, I could be right.
Chances are we're both wrong. But whichever, a great game, a big win for the Cardinals when they could use it most. Unfortunately, they're unable to follow it up. This has been the story of the season for the Cardinals. Just one goal short. They lose to Park Center 2-1 in the regular season finale on Thursday. The Cardinals' final regular season record, 2-14. 2-11 in the conference, and that is why they will be a number 8 seed in the section tournament starting on Thursday.
Yeah, I meant to count how many one-goal games they lost, because there were quite a few of them.
A lot, and that includes a 2-1 loss at top seed Andover.
Yep.
So while the Cardinals' record is not very good, so many one-goal games where a bounce goes their way, and I mean, they could. Realistically, they could be a Cinderella team, a team that
Love to see it.
However, because Andover is one of those teams that snuck past the Cardinals with a one-goal game, they're aware, I think, of that and are going to come out and try and bury the Cardinals early because they don't want to be a 1 seed, go in and get evicted from the brackets early.
No, definitely not.
The rest of the brackets, 4 or 5 is Duluth East hosting Forest Lake. The Rangers get the long bus ride to start the tournament. Blaine is the 3 seed. They host Cambridge Isani. Centennial, the 2 seed. They will start out against St. Francis. Girls soccer team will open the playoffs as the number 6 seed, traveling to number 3 seed Anoka on Thursday. And Howie?
We'll be there.
Final week of the schedule had the Cardinals playing a pair of Northwest Suburban teams and finishing with a trip to face a highly ranked opponent. On Tuesday, Cardinals hosted Champlain Park, another team looking to find some traction before heading into the postseason. Rebels were coming off a win, but they had lost 6 in a row before that. Champlain bringing the pressure late in the first half off the throwing. Kelsey Wood turns, gets off the strong left-footed shot, but Nicole Frazier makes an impressive diving save to deny the scoring chance. Cardinals keeper comes up big, and there's no score at the half. Cardinals with his corner kick early in the second. Aaron Jenkins with a high lofted pass. It's going to be a little bit of a scrum for the ball. Allie Erickson finally able to poke it home. The Cardinals on the board first. That was just the spark the offense needed because they start clicking after that. Erickson, nice little pass to Miss Quick in the corner. Watch this. She'll run onto it. Great cross out front. Maddie Getchell there for the perfect header into the net. Cardinals have a 2-goal lead. Miss Quick was the setup queen in this contest. Here she goes again, this time running down the left side. Great cutback move to find some space and crosses out front. Erickson's there for the easy redirect. Miss Quick's 3rd assist, Erickson's 2nd goal of the game. Let's add one more. Koss with a long through ball. Erickson runs on. And keeper, you should stay in your net. She just boots past keeper, came out to challenge. She completes the hat trick. That completes the scoring. Cardinals with a big 4-0 win over the Rebels.
Yeah, and a nice win for them, quite obviously. And we talked to Coach DeJoy, and he thinks that they're putting some things together. They're playing well at the end of the season when you really want to obviously play well as section times happen.
Well, they had 2 more games to close out the regular schedule. It started with the trip to Park Center where they lost to the Pirates 2-0. Not what they wanted to do following the 4-0 win. But on Saturday, they went and played 5th-ranked Cretin-Durham Hall, and they had the lead, gave up that lead, and lost in overtime. Allie Misquick had the 1 goal. Aaron Jenkins, number 9, had the assist. Nicole Frazier made 5 saves. But despite having played a very tough team to an overtime loss, Cardinals didn't gain any ground in the section. They end as the number 6 seed. They will travel to take on Anoka, the Tornadoes and Cardinals, in their one meeting this evening, played to a 1-1 tie. Blaine, the top seed, will host Cambridge Isani. Andover will host the Duluth East Greyhounds, and St. Francis will host Forest Lake.
Should be a fun week. Got a lot on store.
It's going to be a very busy week for the CTN crew. 3 events coming up. Tuesday, we're doing volleyball live at 7 o'clock. Cardinals taking on the Spring Lake Park Panthers. On Thursday, we will have that playoff. It's below it, but it's actually Thursday. We're doing playoff soccer. Number 6, Coon Rapids, and number 3, Anoka, and it's on Thursday the 9th. And then on Friday, we'll be at home for the final home game of the regular season for the football teams. They take on the Champ Park Rebels. But that's going to do it for this edition of CTN Sports. I want to thank everybody out for joining us, continue to support everything we do here at CTN for Sports, and for the entire crew, including Al Shapiro. I'm the tongue-tied Joe Young.